In this video, my minifigures are in big trouble, and they will be terminated in the most creative and cursed ways possible. From deadly machines to savage beasts and even monsters, I prepared 36 ways, and which trap will be the widest? Let's find out. The first challenge is the trolley problem. 5 bobs are tied to the front track and 1 more is stuck on the other. Their fate depends on the switch lever. Do nothing and the train will run over 5. Or you can pull the lever and sacrifice 1 to save the rest. This means fewer casualties, but is there a smarter way? What if you time it perfectly and give the train a double rail drift? But this is just the beginning of Bob's bad luck. He's just provoked Darth Vader.
I find your existence annoying.
Lord Vader force chokes Bob with raising his hand, and Bob instantly floats in the air. This motion is pulled off by hinge pieces and technic linkages. Many creatures are lethal. This dragon burns Bob into charcoal. When you search for food, you might end up as some sort of food yourself. This lion's long fangs can tear Bob apart instantly. Oh, poor Bob. The lion is too dangerous for him. Then what about this pig? It looks less aggressive, but when it charges Bob and knocks him out, it's still a dangerous hoglet. This is a chicken, and it's safe. Unless there is a zombie riding on it. It makes a chicken jockey a deadly Minecraft hostile for Bob. In this story, you can't even trust a rabbit. It will eat Bob and turns him to poop. Well, it seems the rabbit doesn't have a constipation problem, though. This is a hamburger. The chance Bob eats it, 100%. But the chance of Bob being eaten by a hamburger, definitely not 0. This is a dirt burger from the Fortnite series, and I modified it so it can bounce with all its slices. It preys on Bob and swallows him into its beef patty. Supervillains won't miss a chance to destroy Bob. By linking posing stands, we can gear up Dr. Octopus. Now he's ravaging the city. With no superpowers, we have no choice but to hand Bob over. Dr. Octopus tears him apart with his tentacles. Poor Bob. I'll have some takoyaki tonight for revenge. On the other hand, superheroes are busy saving the city. Spider-Man is trying to stop the train, an iconic scene. But what if Bob had the superpower instead? With great power comes great laceration. Bob just lost his arms. Okay, don't panic yet. I'm building a Lego magic device and let's see what it can do for Bob. Place Bob in the gap and pull the top lock. Oh no, I just broke Bob into 3 pieces. Instead of fixing his arms, the magic just tore him apart even more. As compensation, I found 2 stop pieces. Let's fix Bob with these. Now Bob's got a nice spot, but right next to him is a Minecraft sheep machine with a vacant spot. I have no choice but to let Bob try it out. Turn on the Lego motor, and the Bob and sheep machine runs smoothly. Though I'm not sure how long Bob can hold on. This is a Pokeball, and I built a contraption that stretches out and grabs at the end. Let's see if Bob can be captured like a Pokemon. Of course, it takes a few tries to catch one, and the same goes for Bob. But eventually, he's locked safely inside the Pokeball. Next up, Bob will try out all sorts of transportations. But he's not the only one on the street. The Hulk and Iron Man is having a one-on-one duel. But Bob is just passing by riding on his little bike. Those 2 are on fire and no one notices Bob. After this, Bob sets out to sea and buys a small boat. He thinks no one will bother him this time. But giant tentacles lurk beneath the waves. The Kraken finds him, wrapping up Bob and his boat. In the end, Bob becomes its feast. With no other choice, Bob takes the subway. But the train has mutated into a monster. It looks normal, but it's waiting for prey. As soon as Bob stands in front, the fans lift the carriage into a giant mouth, biting down and swallowing him without hesitation. This happened in my nightmare. Since no safe ride is available, Bob goes all in on extreme sports. He heads over to learn from a stunt rider. The pro takes off at full speed, launches into a giant backflip loop, and lands perfectly on the ground. But Bob doesn't build up enough speed. He stalls right at the top of the loop, and to make it worse, he's not even wearing a helmet. James Bond's Aston Martin has an ejection system. In emergency, he can launch out and fly away with a jetpack. Compact but useful. Bob wants to try it too. The car really has the system, but Bob forgot the jetpack. Now he needs a wheelchair instead. Sometimes even walking on the street is dangerous. A careless road roller driver is watching TikTok, he scrolls through the videos and over Bob. Next, we'll be witnessing some hardcore ways to execute a minifigure. One is a trapdoor to hand Bob. Another is a brick separator guillotine built by Louis XVI himself to take off his head. It works smoothly and got 0 negative reviews from the clients. I've got 5 knights, and on this plate they were right in 5 directions. I placed them around the circle, but the cruel part is a minifigure in the center, its parts chained down. This is a brick separator with higher efficiency, 5 house powers against a single minifigure. But Bob has even more ways to die. This is a mousetrap and it's almost the same size as a real one. There's a piece of cheese on it, which Bob can't resist. As soon as Bob tries to take it, the mousetrap snaps and Bob is instant killed. That says you can't even trust a single Lego piece, including a stud, because there may hide a Sandman nearby and he will smash Bob on spot. So let's build a vacuum cleaner to clean out the dangerous sand. With these pieces, we've made a nice looking Dyson. But is it safe for Bob? The vacuum cleaner runs over him and sucks it inside. Truly a life-taking machine. In that case, we'll need a waste transfer truck to clean up the mess. Lego has a design where turning the gear makes the robot arm lift the garbage bin and dump all the trash into the truck. But what if Bob is in the bin? The driver doesn't notice and Bob gets sent straight into the truck. By the time it dumps the trash at the station, Bob has already fallen apart into pieces. After all this bad luck, the Bobs unite and arm themselves, but they've chosen the wrong enemy. They try to take down Kai, and he enters Spinjitzu mode, wiping out every Bob at once. Some Lego contraptions are just as dangerous. A fan hides inside this wall, and when Bob drops from the top, it triggers the mechanism, stabbing through him and dragging him into the crevice. Moreover, if you upgrade the contraption, you can make a deadly cage that traps Bob. This also works for 3 Bobs tied up together. Even aliens have their eyes on my minifigure. The UFO hovers over Bob and kidnaps him with a tractor beam. I don't think we'll be seeing him again. Some aliens stay on Earth, like this face hugger. He latches onto Bob and he struggled, but it's all in vain. Soon he's killed by the creature. But it's not over yet. The baby, though tiny even next to a minifigure, still spawns from Bob's body. With danger all around, Bob looks for someone he can trust. He finds Batman, but it's the cannibal version. Sadly, Bob ends up as barbecue. There's nothing we can do, just keep spinning the rack to roast him evenly. After all, cooked foods make humans evolve faster. Next are some classic ways to die, like this Iron Maiden. Is fully packed with spikes, and when a minifigure is locked inside, the spikes will pierce him. Truly a painful way to die. However, there's more. This is called the rack. It's super simple but super cruel as well. It just stretches the body with chains till Bob breaks apart. Finally, Bob decides not to act alone. While 3 of them are swimming, they spot something coming their way. A giant shark. Oh no, one of us is going to die. But this is a 3-headed shark with 3 jaws, and all the Bobs are doomed.